The single most consequential financial deal in modern history happened in a quiet room, changing empires forever.
European powers were scrambling to carve up the globe, entering the most aggressive era of imperialism ever. Britain possessed a massive global footprint already, with its crown jewel being the British Raj in India.
However, London faced a logistical nightmare, needing a faster water route to reach their distant Asian possessions. French developers finally pierced the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, opening a direct water route linking two seas. Gaining control required massive capital, and this is where the Rothschild banking dynasty stepped into the breach. They provided the government with an immediate loan of £4 million to buy the canal shares. This event highlights the immense power of the family in fueling European conquest and expanding British reach. The Rothschilds did not start as titans. They emerged from humble beginnings near the late 18th century. Their famous surname comes from the German phrase, meaning red shield, likely referring to a house sign.
Ironically, restrictions on Christians forced Jewish families into lending, which became the engine of the modern economy.
Mayer Amschel Rothschild launched their ascent. Born in Frankfurt, a bustling hub acting like a sovereign state.
His big break came when he began managing finances for a prince who inherited immense private wealth.
The French Revolution triggered conflicts that consumed Europe, and Mayer used capital to fund armies for profit.
As Napoleon tried to starve Britain economically, Mayer organized a vast smuggling network to move goods through.
Mayer died in 1812, but he trained his sons strictly to split the empire across Europe.
Amschel kept Frankfurt, Nathan took London, Karl went to Naples, Solomon to Vienna, and James took Paris.
In Paris, James de Rothschild navigated the political landscape, financing railways and factories to industrialize the nation.
Nathan's courier network delivered news of the victory at Waterloo early, allowing him to position assets perfectly. He practically invented the international bond market, realizing that loans to sovereign governments were the ultimate asset.
His influence was so vast that he even financed the massive sum needed to abolish slavery entirely.
The family folded success elsewhere, brokering peace for Brazil by loaning money to pay off Portuguese claims.
While they were ruthless capitalists, they maintained a strong tradition of philanthropy during the Irish potato famine.
Walter Rothschild was a banker and politician who famously drove a carriage pulled by wild zebras through London.
Beyond banking, the family became titans of wine, purchasing vineyards in Bordeaux that remain the gold standard.
In South Africa, the Rothschilds backed Cecil Rhodes, financing the infrastructure that secured vast mineral wealth there.
Rhodes may have drawn the maps, but the Rothschilds signed the checks that built the British Empire.
Drop a like on this video and let us know your thoughts on this banking dynasty below.
The earliest writing, Sumerian cuneiform, was invented largely to track debts of grain and wine trade. Trade has always been civilization's pulse, evolving slowly over millennia, from minted coins to credit letters. True capitalism only sparked into life during the 1600s, within a tight trading triangle network. Merchants began pooling resources into joint stock companies, funding risky expeditions to expand their global trade reach.
For centuries, the dominant theory was mercantilism, holding that global wealth was fixed and not growing.
Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations codified capitalist theory, arguing that wealth could grow exponentially through production.
This new era required vast amounts of credit, and the Rothschilds were perfectly positioned to supply it.
In 1821, Karl established a bank in Naples to serve the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies.
But in 1860, Garibaldi's forces swept through the south, unifying Italy and ousting the regime.
The Rothschilds, seen as partners of the ousted regime, lost their foothold, closing the Naples branch.
During the Crimean War, the family financed the British effort to stop Russian expansion into the Balkans.
Lionel de Rothschild had ideological reasons to support the war, despising Russia's treatment of Jewish populations.
The loans were a calculated way to punish the Tsar for confining Jews to the Pale of Settlement.
They were the biggest investors in De Beers, monopolizing the global diamond trade and securing wealth.
Next time you read about the British Empire, remember that the Rothschilds signed the checks that built it. Their influence grew so strong that they helped roll back local anti-Semitic laws, granting Jews equal rights.
Britain had spent staggering sums fighting Napoleon, funding massive navies and land campaigns across Spain and Portugal.
The British government desperately needed liquidity that even their own established banks struggled to provide during wartime.
When Napoleon disastrously invaded Russia in 1812, losing his grand army to winter, the tide turned. As a new coalition rallied to crush France, Mayer's sons funneled millions into Allied war chests immediately.
This financing was crucial for victory, giving the family early intelligence on the war's progress for trading.
Successional transfers are often where family businesses collapse, as incompetent heirs squander the founder's hard work quickly. In Paris, James de Rothschild financed the Bourbon Restoration, founding the French branch's distinct banking house forever. When Belgium broke away from the Netherlands, the Paris branch bankrolled the new nation, becoming a force.
Nathan Rothschild had been in London since 1804, and his finest hour was undoubtedly at Waterloo.
He backed the gold standard aggressively, ensuring British currency remained rock solid against all global market volatility.
His sons continued this dominance, funding the railway mania that connected Britain's cities and industries with steel.
They even managed the Royal Mint, and their integration into high British society was absolute and complete.
In 1822, the Austrian emperor granted all 5 brothers the title of Baron, ennobling the family.
The British branch eventually received peerages, with Nathan's grandson becoming the first official Baron Rothschild in history.
When the Blight hit the Scottish Highlands, they supported emigration funds for Scots seeking new lives abroad.
When the Austrian Empire faced collapse after war with Prussia, the family kept Vienna afloat with loans. Following the devastating Franco-Prussian War, they funded the reconstruction of Paris and the new French Republic's infrastructure.
While Cecil Rhodes is the famous face of colonialism there, it was the Rothschilds who backed him.
This is the saga of how the Rothschilds built the most formidable financial dynasty the world has known.